we were just talking about the brain. So we are going to... We established a few things. Okay. We established that the brain is a computer. Right. But you
Yes.
cannot play video games on the brain.
No.
However, you can use the brain to play a video game using your eyeballs. And it seems these eyeballs are some sort of camera. And the brain, she just told me, and you may not believe this, but she says she's the expert here. The brain, there are two brains in our head. Is that what you said the brain was?
The brain is one. People like to commonly split it down the middle, though.
Why they're cutting brains?
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically, they're cutting brains.
We like to split the brain down the middle, so there's a right brain and a left brain, and both sides of the brain are important for different things, but there's also different parts of the brain, like the frontal lobe, the occipital lobe, parietal, and temporal.
What is your favorite part of the brain?
I don't know if I have a favorite, but maybe the occipital, because it helps me see.
What is a lobotomy? I looked it up and I saw it on Google the other day.
Well, a lobotomy, they're not performed anymore.
So it's like a play?
No, it's a surgery. And basically what they used to do is go into someone's brain and take a chunk out of it through their nose. And they
pulled out an entire piece of brain through their nose?
Yes, technically, yeah.
That is morbid. Have you ever considered getting a lobotomy?
No, I enjoy the way I act right now.
So why would they get lobotomies?
They believed it would help people that were considered insane, but they weren't insane. They just needed help.
Do you think I am insane?
No, I think you're a wizard.
Have you ever met an insane person?
No.
Never ever?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you think do you think lobotomies should make a comeback?
I think lobotomies are dangerous and should not make a comeback.
What if it's on people I don't like? Like the man who sells me hot dogs. You know what he did? He never puts enough mustard on my hot dog. I think he deserves a lobotomy. I go down to the hot dog shack in the local wizard dimension, and he never puts enough mustard on my hot dog. I think he deserves a lobotomy. Do you not agree?
I do not
You
agree.
have to be utterly insane to not put enough mustard on my hot dog. If I spend $10 on a hot dog and you do not put enough mustard on it, you deserve to be lobotomized. Up.
Why don't you just put more mustard on it yourself?
Because I'm already paying for the hot dog. Why? If I'm paying for the hot dog already, I expect you to put the mustard on there. Are you gonna go buy tires and then pay for them to put all the tires on your vehicle, and then only be content when they put 3 tires on? Why don't you just put the 4th tire on yourself?
Well, I don't think someone that's selling hot dogs I don't think it's their job to put mustard on hot dogs. I think it's just to give you the hot dog.
But I asked him to put the mustard on there. He gets all the profit. He runs the shack himself.
I think this is a personal issue you should talk to your hot dog mustard guy about.
So you don't think I should immediately lobotomize him?
No. If you did that, he'd probably give you less mustard, if a hot dog at all.
There is only one, my dimension. We only have one hot dog shack. There is only one place in the entire universe, in my dimension at least, you can buy a hot dog. So if I'm going in and buying a hot dog he has a monopoly on hot dogs in my universe. A monopoly. He owns all of the hot dog business.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Willy Dilly, and he sells the Willy Dilly hot dogs.
That sounds like a wonderful name for someone who sells hot dogs.
I would like to apologize to my listeners for my outburst about mustard and lobotomize. Okay. Let's continue about the eyeballs. I use my eyeballs to see how much mustard he's put on my hot dog.
That is a way to use your eyeballs, yes.
So these eyeballs are like cameras, correct?
You could consider them to be cameras, yes.
So do they capture souls? Because I understand that cameras capture souls.
Well, no. And cameras don't really do that either.
What do you mean?
They just take an image of what's happening currently.
So the people I had on before who explained theater to me, they lied to me?
That is, cameras are not my expertise, but last time I checked whenever I use a camera, it did not take the soul of whoever I was taking a picture of.
Well, quite frankly, that is very disappointing. And while we talk about lobotomies, I'm going to play a song for you by Jamiroquai. This one is called Virtual Insanity. Please enjoy this excellent song. Welcome back to Corndog the Wizard Explains the Universe. We were talking about lobotomies just a moment ago. Would you have anything that you would like to tell me about just to start?
Well, I can explain the heart or the digestive tract or any kind of organ that you have a question about.
The heart.
The heart, okay. So, our heart is what pumps blood through our body, and it kind of acts as a filter as it goes through, and it helps oxygen go through. It works with the lungs. It also brings back CO2 and helps us get rid of that CO2.
How often do you need to change the filter?
We do not change filters on hearts. You cannot do that.
That's not sustainable. Your filter is going to get dirty.
I mean, technically, it could. Like there could be a blood clot in the heart.
A blood clot?
Yes.
Why would the blood just stop in the heart? Is it stupid?
No. Things happen, though, that we cannot control.
Have you ever had a blood clot?
Not to my knowledge.
So, this heart, what, so, you're saying it pumps blood throughout the body, right?
Yes.
Why does it need to do that?
Well, it's part of how humans live. We need our blood, and we need oxygen flowing throughout our body, which blood helps oxygen flow throughout the body. We just need it to be alive.
You're saying our brains need oxygen.
Yes, our brains do need oxygen.
So why don't we just put a nose on the top of our head so the oxygen goes directly to the brain?
I wish it was just as easy as that, but our bodies, we didn't really choose to create them. They just kind of figured out a way that worked for them, and now we're all complicated.
Dadgum. So, I understand that you are made of a prison. You are a prison.
A prison?
Yes, like you store prisoners or something like that.
Are you talking about our skin?
Something to do with cells?
Yes.
You're made of prisons.
I mean, no. Cells and prison cells are two different things.
What makes them different?
Well, a prison cell is where you send someone who has done something illegal and...
Like, not put enough mustard on my hot dog.
And now, a cell, though, a human cell, something like a red blood cell or stem cell, bone cell, muscle cell, is what makes up the body.
How many cells do you have?
A lot of cells.
You have a lot. Can I see one?
They are microscopic, so you could not see one without a microscope.
Microscope. Is that like a very small telescope?
Technically, yeah, it is kind of like a very small telescope.
So they're like this big.
They're not teeny tiny. They're big enough so that we can see and see what we're looking at. That's something that's microscopic. A telescope, helps you look into the sky and it magnifies what you're looking at. That's what a microscope does, but you're looking at something that's small instead of large in the sky.
What do these cells do?
Well, there's different type of cells, and each of them have different jobs. Like blood cells, they deliver oxygen, and there's different types of blood cells, like red blood cells and white blood cells. White blood cells help us fight off infections.
An infection? What is that?
Like a sickness.
A disease?
Yeah.
So, where are these blood cells trained to fight these diseases?
That is a
Have they
really
had
good
any
question.
formal training?
Not.
Or is it more of an unorganized militia?
I think it's a little less organized. They don't really get trained in battle, like soldiers or anything. What makes them up is what helps them fight off something like a disease.
So I understand that you will stick needles in people and insert juice into their body. And it's supposed to help fight these diseases. What is the point of that? What are you doing?
It depends. A lot of the times, whenever we stick needles in people, it's to give them medicine of some sort, and this can be a vaccine or just a shot of, I don't know, something to stop an allergic reaction.
What is a vaccine?
It helps our body to not get sick by something in particular. Like, there's vaccines for particular sicknesses.
How do they work?
Well, they introduce the sickness, a very weak strain of the sickness, into your blood, so that your white blood cells can go ahead and fight it. And then if you do get sick or do contract that disease, those white blood cells know how to fight it off, and
so they've been formally trained.
I guess technically at that point you could view it as them being trained.
If I take multiple vaccines of the same sickness, will that help me fight the infection better?
I do not think so. I think it's just you take one vaccine and you're good to go. If you take multiple, it would probably cause a lot of issues.
What happened if I understand that broccoli is healthy for you? Broccoli?
Yes, broccoli is healthy.
What if I was to blend up broccoli and then inject it into myself?
That is not a good idea.
But it's healthy.
It's healthy for you to consume, to eat, like a hot dog. But hot dogs aren't healthy.
What? Why not just put it directly? Just put it straight to the source in my blood.
Well, for it to actually be healthy, if you were to just stick it right in you, it would cause a lot of issues, for one, because our bodies have to break down everything that we eat in order for it to be healthy for us.
Delicious. Now, while we talk about vaccines, I'm going to play a little song for you. This is a country song. I hope you all enjoy this. Song? Welcome back to Corndog the Wizard Explains the Universe. We were just talking about blood and injecting broccoli into your blood. What exactly is anatomy, anyway?
Well, anatomy is the study of the structure of the body and the relationship between body parts.
So, can you explain to me, when you eat something, how does that work? What happens?
Well, when we eat something, it goes through our digestive tract, and that consists of our mouth, our esophagus, stomach, small intestines, large intestines, and then our anus.
Okay. So, can I drink the vaccine instead of if I do not feel like having a needle poked in me, can I just drink the vaccine?
I don't think that is an option. Maybe it will be in the future. But I think it's more safe and sustainable to just have it injected into our bloodstream rather than us drink it.
You seem well educated in the world of drinking and inserting broccoli into your bloodstream. Have you ever tried injecting broccoli?
I have not because I am scared of what would happen.
So, can you explain something to me?
Mm-hmm.
I understand you brought some notes. Tell me about the pancreas.
The pancreas. Yes.
The pancreas.
Technically, the pancreas is considered part of the digestive tract, like I talked about earlier, but it's not really connected. The pancreas it produces enzymes to break down proteins like meat. And it also does a lot with our blood sugar.
You have sugar in your blood.
Yes, technically.
Have you ever tried... So I have a question. If I was out of sugar, if I was making a cake and I was out of sugar, could I bleed into a cup and then put that in the cake in place of the sugar?
No.
Why not?
Well, the sugar that you're talking about, just pure sugar, is not the same as blood. There's very low amounts of sugar in our blood, or at least there should be. There's sometimes issues where people have high blood sugar, but there's medicines to help that.
So how do you move your arms and legs? How does that work? There are these little pieces, ligaments in my body, and they allow me to move my fingers and my toes. How does this work?
Well, we have bones, and then we have muscles and cartilage and ligaments on top of those bones that connect them and help us move.
How do people increase their muscles?
Well, they can lift weights, work out.
So, how does lifting weights make your muscles bigger?
It builds up the strength in the muscles and makes the muscles tighter, and the cells will get tighter, and which will cause your muscles to get bigger as you continue to lift weights.
Let me read these notes again. Kidneys remove waste from blood. There is garbage in your blood?
There is not garbage in our blood like you would think. Kidneys, as you said, do remove waste from the blood, but it's not garbage in the traditional way. It's stuff that's not necessary for our body to live.
What about microplastics?
There have been a lot of studies recently that have showed that there are microplastics in the blood now, but I cannot speak much about that because I am not well educated.
So, what kind of waste does the kidneys remove from the blood?
Anything that's really not necessary, like
broccoli?
Well, the broccoli would be one of them, but you should not have broccoli in your blood. Something like an unwanted infection could be removed. In anything that would cause harm, really.
What is your favorite disease? Do you have a favorite?
I don't think I have a favorite now. They're all not great.
In my dimension, we have something called evil wizard's disease. It's a disease that makes you evil. I had to call into work evil one time. I was quite devious. Have you ever been evil?
I maybe. I don't think so.
Where is consciousness stored in the brain?
A lot. There's technically the frontal lobe, which is the front part of your brain.
So people with lobotomies are not conscious.
They are. They just have a chunk of their brain missing. So it makes them act differently than how they were originally.
Do you think I am evil?
I do not think you are evil.
Well, that's good to hear, because I am not evil. But I tell you, do you know who is evil?
Who is evil?
I want you to guess.
Is it the hot dog
It's
man?
Willy Billy from the hot dog shack in my wizard dimension. You know what he does? I want you to guess what he does. He doesn't put enough mustard on my hot dog, and it's quite frustrating, especially considering I'm paying $10 for a hot dog. And that's not $10 as a meal. These are high quality hot dogs, and I love hot dogs. I go there at least once a week. But I always have to go up there and ask for more mustard, because no matter, he always puts half the amount. I understand you have hot dogs in your dimension.
Yes, we have hot dogs.
So he only, instead of putting in a line across the entire hot dog, he only does halfway. So only half the hot dog has mustard on it. That is ridiculous.
Have you asked him to put more?
Yes, I always ask him to put more. I always say, can you do the whole line? And he says, of course, sir, and then he does half of it. One time he did a fourth. I think he's messing with me.
Maybe he has issues with seeing the hot dog and thinks he did the entirety of it, but didn't.
Then why does he have a hot dog? I'm the only person he does this to.
Well, maybe he dislikes you a little bit.
For why?
Are you the only wizard that asked for mustard on your hot dog?
Yes, I am.
That might be why maybe other wizards don't like hot or mustard.
If I'm the only wizard in my dimension that likes mustard, then why in the world does he even serve mustard in the first place? It's quite an I'm the only one who buys it. It's like anchovies. On pizza.
Do you enjoy anchovies on pizza?
I do.
I think I think your hot dog guy just doesn't like you that much. Because you like mustard and anchovies on your pizza.
Maybe I should lobotomize him.
Well then, What if he stops serving hot dogs after that?
You make a good point, Miss Johnson. Let's talk about one more thing before we put on our final song of the day. Let's see. What does the liver do?
The liver also filters blood, and it filters blood to break down poisons like alcohol and drugs. It also produces bile, which goes into the stomach to help us break down the food that we consume.
So you can just drink poison whenever you want?
Not the same kind of poison. If we drank poison, we would die.
So the liver is useless?
No. It, like I said, helps us break down things like alcohol and drugs, which are considered poisons. It also helps, or it produces bile for the stomach to help break down what we consume.
So having a liver means you can consume as much poison as you'd like, perhaps like alcohol or drugs. You can consume as much as you'd like.
There is a limit. It breaks it down at a very short pace. It's not very quick. So if you were to overconsume these products, it would not be okay. And also, if you consume too much of these products, your liver can fail because it's overworking.
Your liver can also fail if you consume a bottle of cyanide, right?
At that point, your entire body would fail.
So the liver is useless. I remember one. Have you ever eaten a liver before? Chicken liver?
I
It's
have.
delicious.
I
Especially with
have.
brown gravy. In case you haven't known, I have been, during my time at the University of Central Arkansas, I have been consuming the food in the area. And I've come to like chicken liver. So, if I eat chicken liver, does it kind of repair my liver?
Not technically. It's not bad for you, but it doesn't really help your liver in any way.
Okay. How would I repair my liver?
To my knowledge, there's not really a way to repair it.
Actually, I have a better question.
Okay.
When I got my broom license, where I fly around on my magical broom,
Mm-hmm.
they asked me a question if I would like to be an organ donor. So I understand that you can take organs from one person and put it in another person?
Yes.
So, how in the world? That sounds extremely difficult to do.
It can be a very meticulous situation, but basically, if someone has healthy organs and is willing to donate them in some sort of way, then a person who needs a healthy organ can have it surgically put into their body.
Have you considered getting a head transplant? Or a brain transplant, perhaps?
I have not. I quite enjoy my brain.
Is that even... Is that possible to get a brain transplant? I assume it would be, because you can already do any other organ, right?
I do not believe at this point in time that we can transplant brains. I could be wrong, but currently there should not be any brain transplants.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show today, Miss Johnson. You've opened my eyes to the world of humans and human anatomy and broccoli hot dogs and so forth. Please tune in next Tuesday for our next episode on... Just kidding, I'm not going to tell you. That's a secret. Tune in next Tuesday from 4 o'clock to 4:50 p.m. Corndog the Wizard. Also listen on TuneIn. I hope you all enjoyed this. Have a very nice day. Avoid the evil wizards and drink lots of water. Thank you.